Welcome to the Fun Astrology Podcast for Thursday, August 18th. We've got a potpourri show today. So thanks for joining us. Thomas Miller here. First of all, let's start off with a listener question real quick that I think we can all benefit from.
Hi, Thomas. I wanted to ask a quick question. I recently had a surprise injury, and I wanted to know what house to look at for my transit house. If that's the 6th or the 8th house, maybe the 12th, and what planets I would look for, whether that's Mars, Uranus, etc., etc. Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Well, no problem. Sorry about your injury. And let me ask this. How would you all answer this question? Pause the recording and figure it out, right? What would you say? 6th house. All things health, always in the 6th house. Now, a couple little qualifiers for women. The even houses, the 6th house being even, refers to the left side of the body. Odd houses refer to the right side. It's the opposite for guys. Now, she mentioned a couple of other houses. 4th house is end of the matter, as in that which is beyond change. So if there is something that was ending beyond, like this isn't going to go any further from here that related to the injury, you could consider the 4th house. Would not take a look at the 8th. That's all about soul transformation, reconstruction, regeneration, etc. The 12th, personal undoings, secret sorrows. So if there was some kind of self-related injury, particularly intentionally, or if there was something secretive around it, otherwise not the 12th. The 6th house is pretty broad in its reach of health-related issues. Now, good question. Which planet would you look for? Well, this is where Google is going to have to help you because I don't have enough information of what part of the body did it happen on. But I will tell you this. Robert Glasscock and I did an episode here recently. We recorded that's going to be released here soon over the next 2 weeks, where he goes through all the body parts and what they rule as far as health. And it's just an overview, but it's one of those you're going to want your crayon out when you listen to that and capture those because you could apply that. You can go on to Google and find which body part and which planet relates to that. Now, she did give us one clue. She said surprise accident. Yes, that's Uranus. So you could look at where Uranus is positioned, and of course, it is sitting next to good old Mars. So that would be the head. Also, you could consider where Aries is. If it's something related to the hand, Gemini, a Mercury. If it's a skeletal issue, a bone-related issue, Saturn. So Capricorn, Aquarius. So without more information, that's a pretty good skeleton, but that should send you on your way. And it sounds like you have a pretty good ability to take it from there. So great job on knowing how to navigate around your own chart. Now, potpourri number 2, the thing we've been talking about for the last couple of days, Venus and Jupiter trine, they already have this morning, 4:02 a.m. Eastern Time. That's why we were spending most of our focus on this yesterday as it was applying. Well, now it peaks, so you have that peak energy today, and then it will start to fade away as Venus continues to trek through Leo. And then potpourri number 3, what about the weekend? I am going to take tomorrow off, just helping to rest and relax. We'll be back here on Saturday with Ray Merriman, Financial Astrology. But tomorrow, really a pretty light day as well. The moon enters Gemini after a pretty short 1-hour void of course. That happens Friday morning at 8 a.m., 8:05 really. The moon enters Gemini, Eastern Time. Saturday is significant. Why? Because a troublemaker, Mars, enters Gemini. Mars is one that right now you're going, watch that one right there. Watch that one. So we'll see how Mars behaves in Gemini, but just remember the theme. Watch that one right there. Maybe Mars got a little extra juice when it was bunched up there with the North Node and Uranus, or maybe it thought it could trigger Uranus. Maybe they were taunting each other a little bit. But Mars in Taurus, being the next sign past Aries, that's where I say Mars went from having rule of the roost in Aries to having to straighten up and behave itself in Taurus, didn't like it, and then met the North Node and Uranus there, and it wasn't a party, I'll tell you that. Well, we'll see how it does when it moves into air. As it transits through, it will throw sextiles to Jupiter, which will be coming up fairly quickly at 8 degrees. So that will be an air, fire, Gemini to Aries sextile. Then it will hit Chiron at 16 degrees, Aries. Then if we follow this on around, the next aspect will be Neptune. That will be a square. That will be in October. Then Mars will be trining Saturn in Aquarius, the air trine. That will be September 28th. Now, two aspects on Sunday. Mercury opposes retrograde Neptune. That's going to happen in the wee hours of the morning at 3:40 a.m. Eastern Time. That's a big one because we're obviously talking about communication with Mercury, and we're talking about lies and deceptions with Neptune. You know, this ball of twine just keeps unraveling. It really does. And for my own perspective on this, I've just really come to grips with how powerful Neptune in Pisces has been in these later degrees. Neptune right now at 24 degrees. Wow, it has really been something else to just kind of blow the lid off of how deep and prolific the lies and deceptions are across everything. And what it does for me is it has me running to the truth. I mean, it's like, start here first, right? Where am I not aligned truthfully with myself, with others, and anything I'm doing? I'm always squaring up to this plumb line, making sure that I am in alignment first, because it has to start here. Then, and only then, can you look out and start to really see a lot of these things that we used to trust or thought we trusted have just been a great big Wizard of Oz facade. That's part of the work that Neptune is doing, and I'll tell you what, it, in many cases for me, has been a bitter pill. A lot of things I grew up believing in and about have just basically been glass shattered. Well, the other aspect on Sunday will happen right in the middle of our Healing Convergence, which I would certainly invite you to join us. It's on Facebook in the Subconscious Mind Mastery and Fun Astrology Podcast Listeners Group or the Fun Astrology Podcast YouTube channel, 8 p.m. Eastern, Sunday evening. Basically, you just go to either of those pages anytime after 7:55 p.m., refresh the page a couple of times, and you should see us pop up. So, halfway through, the moon will enter Cancer, going home. That'll be a special time. One of you who is alert and on the ball will have to remind me of that Sunday night because I'm sure we'll be in the middle of something. While we're on announcements, a couple of others, be sure to check out our Discord channel, Fun Astrology Podcast. Every day, Kristen continues the conversation there and our trip to North Carolina. If you'd like to check it out, we are still booking people. Go to funastrology.com. Up at the top, you'll see the red bar. Click that for more information. And the other thing I think that we should be thinking about right now is just good old self-care. We've been through a lot the last several weeks, so let's just take some time to breathe. I'm going to do that. Would you join me? Have a great weekend. Ray Merriman on Saturday, back here to start the new week on Monday, and sending you all kinds of love.